Right, so we've got our second tarp setup done. I'll just walk you around it, explain it a bit. So we've got our ridge line. This ridge line's on the edge of the tarp this time, which means that we can then peg in at the back. So we'll go around towards the back. On this site, we're quite close to a steep drop. This isn't where I do forest school, so it's a site that I use for bushcraft as opposed to forest school. But it's a lovely site, and it's a great site because there's lots of trees that go for pitching on. And as you can see, we can get a fire going. It's quite a comfortable site for a day out. It's pegged down on two corners, as you can see there, and a bit further over there. This tarp setup's great. It's great as a big group shelter where you've got wind coming in from one side, because as you can see by the smoke is coming towards us, so the wind is going to come towards the back of the tarp. It's going to blow up and over. It means that we're going to stay dry, we're going to stay out the wind in there, which is great. The suspension is exactly the same as it was before, so we've got our reef knot and our prusik. What I love about these is that we can slide them. So I've got a 4 metre tarp suspended on about an 8 metre line. This line, as I say, is about 10 metres long, so I could go longer. On my big 5 metre by 5 metre tarp, they're suspended on 15 metre lines, and I've got 2 of them in that. So what I can do is I can basically have it anywhere on that 15 metres without having to take my line down, which means that should I want to add extra tarps to it, should I want to move it to a different position because I'm not quite happy with the ground it's on, I'm not having to take this tarp down. The big advantage of this is if it's raining and the kit's under here and I want to shuffle it 2 metres along, me and a friend, we can get hold of the pegs, we can unpeg it, we can basically shuffle our pegs along a bit, shuffle our prusiks along, shuffle our pegs, shuffle our prusiks, and we can basically move everything without getting our gear wet. It's a great advantage in the rain. Similar to the A-frame tarp, but you kind of need more friends to move the pegs on that, ideally, or move one end and do it like a caterpillar, going up and down, up and down, up and down. But yeah, that's why I like prusik knots. Tying your tarp and having it fixed suspension at each end is okay, but I think these are a lot better. As I say, great for a group shelter. I will come in, I'll just try and get you a better view of it. So that is quite a lot of coverage. So you lose about 1 metre at the back where it's low, but you've got, and I can stand under it virtually head height. I could set it higher if I wanted to. There's no problem with that. I could set a second ridge line along my centre ridge. So on this tarp, as you can see, there's a centre ridge line with fixing points. I could set a centre ridge if I wanted to and make it basically a lean-to. So this is a flat lean-to, I could make it an angled lean-to, put 2 sides on it. But for simplicity, and because I've only got one ridge line on this, it's got the one. It allows me to store a lot of equipment underneath. It allows people to stand. It means that if everyone's wet through and it's windy, you can get changed, or if you want to give people a little bit of modesty, you know, one group can stand one side, one group can stand under and get changed. It's great for that purposes. These that are hanging off, when I was explaining in the previous video, if I have my tarp set up in an A-frame off the ground, these are great because these are rain runners. So what I do is I peg these down to the ground. They stop water pooling on the tarp. It just gives you that little bit of extra, so you're not getting pooling points on the tarp. You're not having to wash water off it all the time. Quite simply, it just runs off. Also great for catching rainwater because you can put a water container underneath. It runs in. You can then filter it, boil it, do whatever you need to it. Yeah, so this is our tarp. My other 2 pegs are there because we only need 2 pegs for this one. Right, what I'll do is I'll set my third tarp and then we will talk through that a little bit.